Hello everyone, my name is Trevor Bragg here to give you everything you need to know about living in Phoenix, and today is a great topic. A little late in getting this out since we're in the middle of the year, but these are going to be the best places to retire in Phoenix, Arizona in 2023. This is the whole Phoenix Valley, so it's not really all of Arizona. I'm not including Tucson, that's kind of a separate category, but there are over 25 different 55 plus communities in the Phoenix area, and I'm going to narrow down the best ones for you. Now, if you want to see all of those 55 plus communities, I have this really helpful chart of every 55 plus community in the Phoenix area. It has a breakdown of their average home price, what their HOA fees are, what a lot of their amenities are. It's everything you should kind of know on sort of a graph, everything you could really get from one piece of paper about the 55 plus community. So if you're trying to figure out which ones are best for you, email me. My email is on the screen and I will get that chart over to you. Okay, so how this is going to work, and obviously I could sit up here and say that the best ones are all the higher priced ones, so I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it into 3 tiers and then go by that. It's going to be broken up in prices. So this first tier is going to be under 400,000, and then we're going to go under 600,000, and then we're just going to go over 600,000. I'm going to try to recommend the top 2 or 3 in each price range because they really differ from under 400 to over 600. Those are 2 totally different communities, and I think people can expect, it's probably going to be a little bit nicer over 600,000 compared to under 400,000, but not everyone is in that price range. So let's get into it right now. If you are under the $400,000 price range, my top recommendation is going to be Sun City West. So if you didn't know, there are 4 different Sun Cities in the Phoenix area, the original Sun City being the oldest, and the reason that Sun City West beats out Sun City is just simply that it's about 10 to 15 years newer, and their rec centers are about 10 to 15 years newer. Their homes are a little bit more of a modern floor plan. There's also sections in Sun City West, so the more southern part is mostly built in the 70s and 80s, but when you get to the northern part, you see some nicer homes that are built in the 90s, a little bit more modern of a floor plan with tile roofs, a little bit more open concepts. You see more granite countertops, you see less carpet there, so that's why I prefer Sun City West over Sun City. It's just overall newer, and it's also in a little bit more secluded of a location, so Sun City is a little bit more central, a little bit more people driving through it that just may be going to their house in a different city. Really, the people driving through Sun City West are those that live in Sun City West. Now, some of the key amenities that they have, well, there is a laundry list of them. Sun Cities have so many amenities of them, and that is why they tend to be one of my more popular communities because of how much there is to do. They have multiple rec centers inside the community, and they are top end with nice fitness centers, with indoor pools, with outdoor pools. They have multiple golf courses, so you're not just stuck with one course. Here at Sun City West, there's multiple where you could play a different one every day of the week. And overall, the community is very well kept. It is a quiet community in the sense of there's just not a lot of traffic going in and out, but it's plenty community based when you get to those rec centers, especially when you're in the winter months. Sun City West is a fairly popular place for snowbirds. Now, not all people that live there are snowbirds, but it is popular. So when you're there over October, November, December, all the way through March, you're going to see a lot more people hanging out at their community centers. They're going to have more events going on, and they just have so much to do. They have their woodworking shop. They have hundreds and hundreds of clubs. So anything that you're into, card games, motorcycles, auto repair, woodworking. There's just so many things to get involved in. Sun City West is a great option under 400,000. Plenty of options right around 300 to 350 even. And you can go up to 600,000 at Sun City West and get a really large and nice home there. And my second best option is going to be a very different community than Sun City West. It's actually going to be Arizona Traditions, which I don't think has made my top list before, but the more I've seen this community, the more I've appreciated it. So it's a much smaller community, actually probably less than 10 minutes away from Sun City West, but it is a guard-gated community. And it has a very clean outlook to it. Just driving through the community, you drive through the golf course as you go. It's much smaller, so it's a little bit more tight-knit. When you go to the rec centers, you're probably going to start to recognize people, and they still have plenty of clubs offered. They even have their own woodworking shop, which is really rare for a community this size to have them. Usually only the mega communities have something like a woodworking shop. They've got a pretty high-end one there at Arizona Traditions, let alone they have a golf course in there, a full 72 golf course that's fairly nice. It's not like the highest event. Again, we're under 400,000, but it's definitely a nice course. It's what I'd be playing on. I'm not one to spend $200 on a golf course because my golf game is not good enough to be doing that. But also inside there, their rec center is amazing. They have an indoor and an outdoor pool. It is resort style, extremely nice, really big fitness center in there. It's just a really cool complex in general. A little bit more if you want that smaller community feel where you can kind of walk around the neighborhood, really get to know your neighbors, meet most of the people that live there. Really good fit for that. They have a softball field there, so they have a league that you can join if you want to be a part of that. Really nice community, very quiet community because you are gated. It is a little bit more strict with their HOA rules, which is a plus or a minus depending on who you are. But like things like you're not going to see cars in driveways just to have that overall clean feel to it. Not going to see cars on the streets. Stuff like that they're a little bit more strict about. So that could be a plus or a minus depending on what you prefer. Those are my top 2 under 400,000. There's a few others that could be runner-ups. A place like Sunbird over in the East Valley. Sun City is definitely a runner-up, but I would prefer Sun City West over that if I had the option. There are options at 250,000. There are some, but I just think those 2 communities really beat them out pretty easily. Now, when we get to the $400,000 to $600,000 price range, this is by far the most competitive because this is some of the more popular communities, the most reached out communities to me that I see clients from out of state. They hear about these, they really like them, and that's because there are a lot of great options. So narrowing it down to just 3 is difficult. I'll share some runner-ups, but I'll explain what kind of my top 3 are going to be. And the first one is going to be Trilogy at Power Ranch. This is over in the East Valley in Gilbert, and the Trilogies just in general, you're going to see a trend here. I really like the Trilogy communities. This is a Shea community. They do a really good job on their homes that they're building, just the overall floor plan, the style of them. They tend to last a long time. They just do a really good job with their build styles. The community itself is beautiful. It's extremely green. It does not feel like you're in Phoenix. It is extremely green. You have lakes in there that you can fish out of. They have a ton of clubs like those other communities. They got a beautiful rec center. They've got this huge open area that you could rent out for, they have ballrooms, they have dances, and then you could also just rent it out if you're having a party. You could use it. Beautiful place down at Trilogy at Power Ranch. One of my top recommendations in the East Valley, especially some of the other 55 plus communities in the East Valley that are in this above $400,000 price range. They tend to be really far out. So this is actually in Gilbert, not past Gilbert. So a little bit closer, if you had family in Chandler or Tempe or something like that, you're probably only 20 or 30 minutes away while being in a really nice community with some great amenities. The next option is going to be Sun City Grand, and this is one of my most recommended communities across any of the price ranges. I love Sun City Grand. I love its location over in Surprise. You're right across the street from there. Racket complex there where there's like 30 pickleball courts and 15 tennis courts. There's also a lake right across there where there's a park, there's a library. Surprise baseball fields over there where spring training is. This is all right across the street. Now inside the community itself, you're going to drive through it and right away you're going to realize how nice of a community this is. You could say it's a fairly grand community. Right when you drive in, there's going to be a golf course all around you. There's going to be water with a fountain spewing off, and it is just beautiful. Their golf course is pristine condition, always extremely green, extremely blue water in the lakes that you're driving through. And as you go through the community, you're just going to see how well kept it is, and it's going to be a step above Sun City West. I mean, overall, these homes are going to be 15 to 20 years newer, so they're just going to be more modern, a cleaner look, a lot more popular floor plans in there. There's 2 or 3 floor plans in there that are just extremely popular. They built a ton of them that are open concepts right when you walk in with the kitchen to the living room, and then 1 bedroom on this side, 1 bedroom on that side. So great if you have family coming to stay with you, a popular thing that happens there. There are also snowbirds here at Sun City Grand. It's still popular. A little bit more popular in Sun City West are the snowbirds, but there's still plenty of them in Sun City Grand. Again, they have great clubs offered. They have events constantly going on. The Sun Cities are very similar in terms of amenities. It's just, I guess, how nice those amenities are, because the newer communities tend to have nicer rec centers and some different options when it comes to those things that they have in the rec centers. So a great community is Sun City Grand, and a lot more popular floor plans there than almost any other community I've seen in the Phoenix area. And my last option in this price range is going to be Pebble Creek, and there are a lot of pros to Pebble Creek, but usually the number one pro is its location. So in general, when you look at 55 plus communities, they're on the outskirts of the Phoenix area, right? A lot of them in Surprise that we've mentioned, or the far East Valley, or the Southeast Valley like South Chandler, or in Mesa. They're going to be on the outskirts. Really the only one that is central at all is going to be Pebble Creek in Goodyear. It is right on the corner of the 303 and the 10, so you have really easy access if you wanted to go to the airport more often, or if you want to be closer to things to do. So if you like to be near downtown to go to concerts, or if you like to be near Old Town Scottsdale, where all the great restaurants and bars, and there's always some sort of event going on there. If you like to be close to that, Pebble Creek is by far going to be your closest option, just about 20 to 25 minutes to the airport, or most of the other communities you're looking at probably a minimum of 40 minutes, if not more, to the airport, to Scottsdale, to downtown. So Pebble Creek, its location is amazing, and the community itself is very nice as well. It's a guard-gated community. Right when you drive in, they have 2 separate guard gates. The community's kind of split in half. One's a little bit newer, one's a little bit older, but they're very similar overall. But it's guard-gated when you come in. You're going to see a golf course. You're going to see water when you come through, and the rec centers are beautiful, especially the Tuscany one. It is a beautiful rec center. Just looking at it, it's appealing to the eye. It's right on the golf course. They have got, again, great amenities, fitness center, pools. They have all kinds of clubs offered. They also have fitness classes, which are fairly popular. And one thing about Pebble Creek that I've noticed almost more than any other 55 plus community is how active it is. When I've gone to that community, it is difficult to find someone not at the activities, right? You drive by the pickleball courts and there is 30 people playing. You drive by the pool, you see people swimming laps. You walk through the community center, there's people playing pool, there's people sitting down having coffee, there's people in the library. It is just a very active community. They have a really well-ran softball league, so a great place to sign up and join, stay active, meet a bunch of new people on your team. Really well-ran. They do a great job at Pebble Creek. One of my highest recommendations. That and Sun City Grand tend to be right neck and neck when it comes to, if you're looking more in the West Valley, which community do you prefer? And really that decision mostly comes down to location, because overall they're fairly similar to each other. And now a runner-up in this price range, again, there's a lot in this price range that I recommend. The runner-up is going to be Cantera in Estrella. I do think it's just slightly below the others. It doesn't have as many amenities. It's a little bit further away from the things to do, like anywhere near downtown. So if you really like the mountain views, you like to be more secluded, Cantera could be a really good option for you. They also have some beautiful lakes there, more lakes than any other 55 plus community, so you have a better chance of being on the water. Just overall, I think their amenities are just slightly below, but it could still be a really good option. But I just think overall, I think those 3 kind of beat it out. Now let's get to the top price range, over $600,000, and this one's maybe the most difficult to actually cross any out, just because if the average house price is $750,000, there's probably a reason for it. It's probably a really nice community that everyone wants to move to. So to nitpick it and say this one's not good or this one's not good, it's difficult because clearly the market and the buyers are saying this is an amazing community. So what are my top recommendations? I will start with my absolute favorite 55 plus community. Yes, I said I have some other favorite recommendations, but if I could live in a 55 plus community, unfortunately I cannot. It would have to be Trilogy at Vistancia. I love everything about this community. It's, again, a Trilogy community built by Shea. It is in Vistancia, one of my favorite all-age communities, and it is a subsection of it that is guard-gated, has an extremely nice golf course on it. If you get the chance to play it, you'll be lucky. It's a beautiful course. They have 2 separate rec centers that are very high-end. I mean, these are like luxury resort-type rec centers. They have spas in them. They got beautiful indoor lap pools that are ginormous. Their views outside the rec centers, right when you walk out, you're either staring at some awesome mountains or you're staring at the golf course, depending on what you're at. You'll see weddings held at these fairly constantly because of how beautiful they are. Tons of club rooms offered, so that's where they do their art rooms. That's where they do their card games, stuff like that. Their fitness center is one of the better ones, one of the bigger ones I've seen, with just more options. And it's just a beautiful community. You drive through Trilogy of Vistancia, you do not feel like you're in Phoenix. So if you want that desert landscape where you see a lot of cactus and rocks, this is not the option for you. You see tree-lined streets, you see real grass, yes, real grass, not turf, in all the common areas, tons of trees. It just doesn't feel like you're in the desert. It feels like you are in some beautiful, lush part in the Midwest or something like that. And so overall, it is a really well-done community. Great amenities, beautiful mountain views. A lot of homes have mountain views there, and you're also extremely close to Lake Pleasant, so if you like to get out on the lake at all, you're probably 15-20 minutes from there. It is a little bit further from downtown, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, but overall, I love that area up there. It's extremely secluded, so really the only people going to Vistancia are the ones that live in Vistancia, just because it is the last part of Peoria. So if you don't like it being far away from the city, maybe not the best option, but if I had a choice, I absolutely love Trilogy at Vistancia. My next option would be Victory at Verrado, and this is a little bit of a stark contrast in terms of views. Victory at Verrado is much more the desert landscape view, and they really embrace it and do a really good job of it. And the one thing that Victory has against any other 55 plus community and really anywhere else in the Phoenix area is their view from their rec center is amazing. It's on top of this mountain, and you are overlooking this beautiful mountain range. You're overlooking the golf course, their vineyard. Yes, they have a vineyard in Phoenix, the only one I've heard of that's actually in Phoenix and not up north. They have a vineyard which will produce wine. I believe at the end of this year is when their first tasting is going to be. You see a vineyard, you see a golf course, you see their beautiful landscape of homes, and then you see these beautiful mountain views. That is an amazing community there. So fairly rare to see new builds still happening in 55 plus communities. They are happening here at Victory. They are also happening at Cantera that I mentioned, and Pebble Creek still has a few left there also. But Victory has plenty of new builds happening. Tons of builders to pick from, so a lot of the homes are different from each other. That's one thing that's nice. It's not too much of a cookie cutter neighborhood because of how many different builders that they have there. And I'm sure there's a style and a price range you like. You can get something at $350. You can get something at $1.5 million at Victory at Verrado, just depending on the size of the home. And of course, the view you are getting. Some of those new build lots have amazing views of the mountains right outside their backyard. It is beautiful there. And their rec center overall, it's a very new community, so it's very modern, very beautiful. They have a ton of different pools. They have 4 different pools, for hanging out, for swimming in. They have a lap pool, which has a specially designed system that doesn't splash the person next to you. I don't know how you do it, but it's amazing. And really, anywhere that you're going to be hanging out in Victory, you're going to have some awesome mountain views. It is that desert landscape, but if you want mountain views, I mean, you are in the mountains there at Victory. They have some beautiful golf courses there, one inside of Victory and then one at Verrado, which is the all-age community, and you could go to that as well. Beautiful community, Victory at Verrado. Cannot recommend it enough. My next option, brand new community, did not make it last year because it wasn't established. Didn't know enough about it just yet, but it's going to be Sterling Grove in Surprise. This community needs a little bit more attraction, I would say, just because it's not as well known. It is a luxury community in Surprise, and for those of you who don't know, that is a rare statement. There aren't many high-end communities in Surprise. It definitely can support it, as proven by Sterling Grove. They're having no issues selling homes there, and it is like the other communities. There's an all-age section, and then there's a 55-plus section. Again, it is a guard-gated community. Extremely high-end golf course inside of there. There's water throughout it. They have a beautiful rec center. And really the best part about Sterling Grove is that the new build style that you can get, they have some awesome homes at Sterling Grove. It is built by Toll Brothers, which is a high-end builder. So you're going to be getting to buy from them. They have plenty of different floor plans. A really popular one is to get one that has a casita attached to it for when families are coming, they can stay in there. So really the best part about this is the build styles that you're going to get. It's definitely a higher price community. A lot of homes are going to be at that $800,000 and over $1 million is not uncommon to see at Sterling Grove. Beautiful community. You do have some mountain views, not as prevalent as Victory, but if you're on the outskirts, you probably have some pretty good mountain views. And it's not finished yet, but towards the end of the year, they're expecting the Village at Posada to be done, which is going to be a mall right across the street where there's going to be some modern new restaurants. There's a Costco like 15 minutes away. There's going to be a shopping center right there. So all within 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to have just about everything you need once that's all finished by the end of the year. So Sterling Grove, absolutely beautiful community. If you're in that higher price range, definitely one to consider. A runner-up in this category is going to be in the East Valley, is going to be in Cantera. This is a great community, especially if you are looking in that East Valley and want something more secluded. You are somewhat in the middle of the nowhere. You're maybe 15-20 minutes from where the next big shopping center is going to be. Now there is grocery stores and stuff within 10 minutes, so you're not crazy far out. The reason it's not really in this section of the top 3 is because it's more of an all-age community. There's only a few small sections that are 55 plus. It's an all-age community that's all gated together, but they kind of don't really have kids in the community because they don't allow school buses, they don't allow basketball hoops, they don't allow trampolines. So in those all-age areas, really the people that are living there are probably people who are empty nesters and their kids have moved out. You really don't have any kids there, although most of it is actually all age. It's not actually all age. Their average age is probably around the late 50s rather than a normal all age being in the 30s or 40s. So it really doesn't make a 55 plus community top 3 because most of it isn't 55 plus. It's more of the younger 45 to maybe 60 is going to be their target age range. But it is a beautiful community. Again, it is actually Trilogy at Cantera, so it's a Trilogy Shea built homes. They're beautiful homes. They have new builds still available there. They have have lots with a golf course view, with a mountain view, larger lots still available. So if you're interested, I could definitely show you some more about that. But it is a runner-up just because it's technically not 55 plus. And really the amenities, they are extremely nice there, but I think those other communities, their amenities are kind of a notch above just in terms of the amount they have to offer and the overall quality of them. So definitely a great option, especially if you want something more secluded, but it is going to fall in the runner-up category. All right, that's my breakdown of the 3 different price ranges most people are in when looking for a 55 plus community here in Phoenix. If you're wanting help finding a place, I'd be happy to help you. I'm a realtor here in the Valley and work all sides of the Valley. So even if you want to check out Cantera and also want to check out Trilogy at Peoria, I can help you at both of those. If you want that 55 plus chart, just reach out to me via email and I will send that over to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos like this.